Namaste everybody. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavad Gita at Yenri Yoga Environment Neuroscience Research Institute. Here we have come to the end of chapter 14, that is Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. And now we will be entering into the 15th chapter, that is Purushottam Yoga. But before that, we are going to revise in a very unique manner where we will be discussing all the three gunas, that is Tamas, Rajas, and Satttva. And after that, we will understand what is Gunatitah, what is going beyond the gunas. So today we have four people who are going to summarize all these aspects. Let us start with chanting of the complete chapter by Godamani ji, and then from there onwards, we can discuss further. Thank you. Please welcome Godamani ji. Godamani ji, please start. Godamani ji, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Yes, doctor. Namaste to all Indri Bandhus. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Chaturdashodhyayaha Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogaha Shri Bhagavanuvacha Param Bhuyah Pravachyami Gnananam Gnanamuttamam Eknatva Munayah Sarve Param Siddhimito Gataha Idam Gnanamupashritya Mama Sadhamyamagataha Sargepi nopajayante Pralaye na vyatanti cha Mama yo nirmahad brahma Tasmin garbham dadamyaham Sambhavah sarvabhutanam Tato bhavati bharata Sarva yonishu kaunteya Murtayah sambhavantiyaha Tasam brahma mahodyonim Aham bija pradapita Sattvam rajastama iti gunaha Prakriti sambhavaha Nibadnanti mahabaho Dehe dehinam avyayam Tatra sattvam nirmalatva Tat prakashamanamayam Sukha sangena badnati Gnana sangena chanaka Rajo ragatmakam viddhi Trishna sanga samudbhavam Tanni badnati kaunteya Karma sangena dehinam Tamasta gnanam viddhi Mohanam sarva dehinam Pramadalasya nidrabhihi Tanni badnati bharata Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajaha Karmani Sattvam sukhe sanjayati Rajah karmani bharata Gnanam avritya tu tamaha Pramade sanjayutyata Rajastamashmabi bhuyaha Sattvam bhavati bharata Rajas sattvam tamaschaiva Tamas sattvam rajastata Sarvadvareshu dehesmin Prakasha upajayate Gnanam yada tada vidya Divriddham sattvamithyuta Lobha pravrittirarambha Karmana amashamah sprusha Radasyetani jayante Vivriddhe bharatarshaba Aprakasho pravrittischa Pramado moha evacha Tamasyetani jayante Vivriddhe kurunandana Yada sattve pravrittetu Pralayam yati dehavrit Tadotamavidam lokan Amalan patipatyate Rajasi pralayam gatva Karma sangishu chayate Tata pralenas-tamasi Muda yonishu chayate Karmana sukritasyahuhu Satvikam nirmalam palam Rajastastu palam dukkam Agnanam tamasappalam Sattva samjayate gnanam Rajaso lobha evacha Pramada moho tamaso Bhavato gnanamevacha Urdvam gacchanti sattvasta मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः जगन्यगुणवृत्तिस्था अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारं यदा द्रष्टानुपश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति गुणानेतानतीत्य त्रीन् देहि देह समुद्भवान् जन्म मृत्युचरा दुःखै विमुक्तो मृतमश्नुते अर्जुन उवाच कैर्लिङ्गैस्त्रीन् गुणान् एतान् अतीतो भवति प्रभो किमाचारः कथं चैतां त्रीन् गुणान् अतिवर्तते श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रकाशं च प्रवृत्तिं च मोहमेव च पाण्डव न द्वेष्टि सम्प्रवृत्तानि न निवृत्तानि काञ्चति उदासीनवदासीनो गुणर्यो न विचाल्यते गुणा वर्तन्त इत्येव योऽवतिष्ठति नेङ्गते समदुःखसुखस्वस्थः समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः तुल्यप्रिया प्रियो धीरः तुल्यनिन्दात्मसंस्तुतिः मानापमानयोस्तुल्यः तुल्यो मित्रारिपक्षयोः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी गुणातीतः स उच्यते मां च यो व्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते स गुणान् समीत्यजात् एतान् ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतस्या व्ययसस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे गुणत्रय विभागयोगो नाम चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः। सर्वं कृष्णार्पणम्। Thank you,
धन्यवाद
Doctor.
धन्यवाद धन्यवाद गोदामणि जी, very nice, thank you very much for such a beautiful rendering of the shlokas. Now first person, yeah, thank you. First person is Tamas. Tamas is going to be explained by Gautam. So please Gautam, welcome and please explain Tamas to us in short.
सभी एनरी बंधुओं को मेरे तरफ से शुभ संध्या। आज मैं आप लोगों के सामने तमस गुण क्या है, उसके क्या लक्षण है और इनका क्या परिणाम है, इस विषय पर मैं आप थोड़ा सा प्रकाश डालने का कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। तो शुरू करते हैं। ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ श्रीमद् भगवद गीता अथ चतुर्दश अध्यायः गुणत्रय विभाग योगः। तो तमस सतगुण और रजोगुण, इन दोनों से तमोगुण को अत्यंत निकृष्ट बताया गया है। तमोगुण अज्ञान जनित है। तमोगुण के प्रभाव से सत्य और असत्य का विवेक करने की मनुष्य की बौद्धिक क्षमता आच्छादित हो जाती है और फिर वह किसी संभ्रमित या मूर्ख व्यक्ति के समान व्यवहार करने लगता है। भगवान श्री कृष्ण कहते हैं कि यह तमोगुण जीवन के सत्य और दिव्य लक्ष्यों के प्रति अनेक मिथ्या धारणाओं एवं मिथ्या आग्रहों को जन्म देकर मनुष्य को निम्न स्तर के जीवन जीने को बाध्य करता है। इसका वशीभूत होकर मनुष्य प्रमाद और आलस्य का शिकार बन जाता है। तमोगुणी पुरुष में ना लक्ष्य की स्थिरता होती है और ना बुद्धि की प्रतिभा, ना भावनाओं की कोमलता होती है और ना कर्मों की कुशलता। यह तमोगुण अज्ञान से अर्थात बेसमझी मूर्खता से पैदा होती है और संपूर्ण देहधारियों को मोहित कर देता है, अर्थात सत असत, कर्तव्य अकर्तव्य का ज्ञान नहीं होने देता। यह सांसारिक सुख भोग और संग्रह में भी नहीं लगने देता, अर्थात रजोगुणी सुख भी नहीं देता। सतोगुणी सुख की तो दूर की बात है। मोहमूलक है, अप्रकट विषयों की ओर उन्मुख करने वाला तथा तर्क और बुद्धि द्वारा ना जाना जा सकने वाला गुण तमोगुण है। लोभ, निद्रा, अधीरता, क्रूरता, नास्तिकता, शास्त्रोक्त विधि से भिन्न व्यवहार, याचना वृत्ति तथा प्रमाद से सब तमोगुण के लक्षण है। प्रमाद, आलस्य, निद्रा निबध्नाति भारत। यहाँ प्रमाद दो तरह का होता है। करने लायक काम को ना करना, अर्थात जिस काम से अपना और दुनिया का अभी और परिणाम में हित होता है, ऐसे कर्मों को प्रमाद के कारण ना करना। और ना करने लायक काम को करना, अर्थात जिस काम से अपना और दुनिया का अभी और परिणाम में अहित होता है, ऐसे कर्मों को करना। ना करने लायक काम भी दो तरह के होते हैं, अर्थात जैसे बीड़ी, सिगरेट, भांग, गांजा आदि पीने में और नाटक, सिनेमा और खेल आदि देखने में धन खर्च करना और व्यर्थ क्रिया करना, अर्थात ताश चौपड़ खेलना, खेल कूद करना, बिना किसी कारण से पशु पक्षी आदि को कष्ट देना, तंग करना, बिना किसी स्वार्थों के छोटे छोटे पेड़ पौधे को नष्ट करना आदि व्यर्थ क्रियाएं है। आलस्य यह भी दो प्रकार का होता है। सोते रहना, निकम में बैठे रहना, आवश्यक काम ना करना और ऐसा विचार रखना कि फिर कर लेंगे, अभी तो बैठे हैं, ऐसे तरह का आलस्य मनुष्य को बांधता है और निद्रा के पहले शरीर भारी हो जाता है। वृत्तियों का भारी हो जाना, समझने की शक्ति ना रहना, इस तरह का आलस्य दोषी नहीं है, क्योंकि यह आलस्य आता है, मनुष्य करता नहीं। निद्रा भी दो तरह का होता है। आवश्यक निद्रा, जो निद्रा शरीर के स्वास्थ्य के लिए नियमित रूप से ली जाती है और जिसमें शरीर में हल्कापन आता है। वृत्तियों का सच होती है, बुद्धि को विश्राम मिलता है। ऐसी आवश्यक निद्रा त्याज्य और दोषी नहीं है। भगवान ने भी ऐसी आवश्यक निद्रा को दोषी नहीं माना, प्रत्युत योग साधना में सहायक माना है। जैसे युक्त स्वप्न बोधस्य एक श्लोक में 6वें अध्याय में है। और अनावश्यक निद्रा, जो निद्रा के लिए ली जाती है, जिससे बेहोशी ज्यादा आती है, नींद से उठने पर भी शरीर भारी रहता है, वृत्तियां भारी रहती है, पुरानी स्मृति नहीं होती, ऐसी अनावश्यक निद्रा त्याज्य और दोषी है। इस अनावश्यक निद्रा को भगवान ने भी त्याज्य बताया है। इस तरह तमोगुण, प्रमाद, आलस्य और निद्रा से शरीर को बांध देता है, अर्थात उसकी सांसारिक और पारमार्थिक उन्नति नहीं होने देता। सत्व और रजोगुण संग से बांधते हैं, अर्थात सत्वगुण सुख और ज्ञान की आसक्ति से तथा रजोगुण कर्मों की आसक्ति से बांधता है। परंतु तमोगुण में संग नहीं बताया, क्योंकि तमोगुण मोहनात्मक है, इसमें किसी का संग करने का जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ती। यह तो स्वरूप से ही बांधते हैं, बांधने वाला है। तात्पर्य यह हुआ कि सतगुण और रजोगुण तो संग से बांधते हैं, पर तमोगुण स्वरूप से ही बांधने वाला है। ऐसे ही हम लोग रामायण महाभारत में भी तमोगुणी व्यक्ति जो है का दर्शन कर सकते हैं। जैसे रामायण में तमस व्यक्ति का नाम है कुंभकर्ण। कुंभकर्ण जो है, जैसे सोते रहते थे, 6 महीनों तक सोते रहते थे और उनका राज कार्यों में कोई रुचि नहीं था, किसी जन कल्याण के लिए भी कोई रुचि नहीं था, उसको बस सोना है और खाना है। और महाभारत में भी हम देख सकते हैं दुशासन जो है अपने भाई का जो आदेश है उसको अंधे की तरफ मान लेते थे। वो ये नहीं सोचते थे कि ये आदेश जन कल्याण के लिए है या सभी सर्वजन की भलाई के लिए है, ये नहीं सोचता है। ऐसे ही तमोगुण जो है वो हमेशा किसी का भलाई का सोचता नहीं, वो अपना काम करते जाता है और वो हर समय अंधकार में रहना पसंद करेगा। छोटी छोटी बातों को लेकर किसी से लड़ाई करेगा, झगड़ा करेगा, गाली देगा। समाज के कोई भी शुभ कार्यों में योगदान तो दूर की बात, वो समाज का भला हो ऐसा सोचेगा भी नहीं। और वह हमेशा दूसरे की धन संपत्ति को हड़पने की कोशिश करेगा। और जब किसी व्यक्ति में अज्ञानता यानी सत्व की कमी और आलस्य यानी रोजों की कमी होती है तो वो तमोगुणी कहलाता है। तमोगुणी व्यक्ति अपने को हमेशा ऐसा वो तमोगुणी व्यक्ति जो हमेशा अपने आप को मांस मदिरा या नशे में डूबे रहने का आदी होता है। और तमोगुणी कुछ जैसे तमोस दान कहा जाता है। जैसे आप किसी को दान देते हैं और दान देते हैं तो अपना रौब दिखाने की कोशिश करते हैं उस व्यक्ति के ऊपर, और आप उस दान के बदले उससे कुछ आशाएं रखते हैं कि इसको ये देंगे तो हमको ये मिल जाएगा, तो ये तमोस दान हो गया। तामसिक पूजा है, जैसे आप भूत प्रेत का पूजा करते हो बिना किसी मंत्र के, और जैसे पशु का बलि देते हो पूजा के उपलक्ष्य पर, और जो अपने ईर्षा दिखाते हो, जेलेसी टाइप का पूजा होता है वो तामसिक पूजा। और तामसिक भोजन जैसे बासी भोजन, बहुत दिन से सड़ा हुआ भोजन, जैसे आजकल देखते हैं हम लोग मार्केट में पैकेट में चिप्स वगैरह मिलता है, ये सब तामसिक भोजन है जो मनुष्य को चिड़चिड़ापन लाता है और हमेशा काम वासना ही जागृत करता है। और तमोगुणी की वृद्धि हो तो किस योनि में जन्म लेता है। अगर तमोगुणी व्यक्ति तमोस प्रधान व्यक्ति का वृद्धि होने पर उसका जो मृत्यु होता है तो उसको क्या क्या योनि मिलता है ये बताया गया है। जैसे उत्तम तामस व्यक्तियों को पशु पक्षी दंभी राक्षस हिंसक तथा पिशाच ऐसे दुराचार योनियों में योनि प्राप्त होती है। मध्यम तामस की व्यक्ति को जैसे हाथी घोड़ा शूद्र निंदित म्लेच्छ सिंह व्याघ्र और सुअर जैसी रजोगुण के प्रभाव से मिलने वाली मध्यम योनियां प्राप्त होती है। और अधम तमस जो है उसमें जो है वृक्ष आदि जड़ कीट मकोट मत्स्य सर्प कछुए पशु और अखेट किए जाने वाले मृग आदि पशु योनियों की तमोगुण प्रभाव से मिलने वाली निकृष्ट योनियां समझना चाहिए। और जो है तमो प्रधान तमो गुण को हटाने के लिए या तमो से सतो गुण में जाने के लिए जो है बताया गया कि हमेशा सत्संग करना चाहिए, शास्त्र आदि पाठ करना चाहिए, और भगवान जप करना चाहिए, भगवान का नाम जप करना चाहिए इत्यादि इत्यादि। तो ऐसे तमोगुण का कुछ ऐसे ही है जानकारी, मेरी जो था वो बताया। धन्यवाद। जय श्री कृष्ण।
धन्यवाद गौतम, बहुत अच्छी जानकारी बताई आपने। If you see in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Arjun is entering into tamas. Arjun is becoming heavy. Arjun is going towards darkness. Arjun is opting for inertia. Arjun is opting for laziness, and he is deciding not to fight the war. Fighting the war is rajas, correct? So that is where the first chapter is about Arjuna Vishada Yoga. That is where we understand that how Arjun is entering into the tamas aspect. Then to remove from tamas, we need light, that is sattva, we need knowledge. Bhagavan Sri Krishna delivers Samkhya Yoga. He makes Arjun understand the importance of action, that is Karma Yoga. Then he makes him understand the importance of action with knowledge, that is Gnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, with renunciation. Then Sannyasa Yoga. Then Arjuna develops some more curiosities and he keeps on asking questions in between, and that is how Bhagwan delivers him the knowledge of meditation, that is Dhyana Yoga. Bhagwan gives him the idea of Gnana and Vijnana, that is Gnana Vijnana Yoga, knowledge and realization. Then Bhagwan gives him the understanding of Akshara Brahma Yoga. Bhagwan gives him the most detailed versions and the most secret versions of knowledge, that is Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga. He explains him the divine manifestations, that is Vibhuti Yoga. Then he explains him his own grand Swarupa, that is Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. Then he explains about Bhakti Yoga. Then Kshetragna Vibhaga Yoga, that is the knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetragna that we have discussed, Prakriti and Purusha. And now in this chapter, Bhagavan is explaining about what are the differentiations of Prakriti, what is happening in the Prakriti, what are the gunas of Prakriti, that is Tamas, Rajas and Satttva, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, and how to go beyond the gunas, that is Gunatitah. Later on, Bhagavan will explain further, but for now, we will understand how a person with predominant Rajaguna or Rajas will behave. Second person to explain all these things is
Namaste, Doctor.
Raja Rajeshwari ji.
Namaste, Doctor.
Namaste, Amma. Namaste, please.
Okay. Guna means quality or peculiarity or some property with some a person. The three gunas are Sattvic, Rajas and Tamas. In Rajas refers to qualities like passion or activities for sense enjoyment and working day and night for achievement of something, and they will be not be satisfied with what they have achieved, and there is an urge for to attain more and more. That is Rajas. And in Ramayana, we can see Ravana. He just wanted to abduct Sita, keep her somewhere there, and he wanted her to marry. Like that, he was having one after the other. There is no end to the needs at that time. Rajas people will always be having some urge to keep on getting something more and more and more. But there are also some good Rajas. This one, like a child aspiring to get a good mark, highest mark in the class is now a good Rajas. Whereas the same child, if it thinks that I am getting that girl is getting more than me, no, she should not get more than me. Next exam, I should only get more. Or the teacher is selfish and she to some self this one towards her. That is why she is giving more marks. Is some it is not a good Rajas. So good Rajas is okay as long as it does not go beyond the limit. And the Satya Sai Baba says that in the three gunas, a person is with desires is compared to green pumpkin, which will sink in water, and dried pumpkin, which will float in water. The person will be driven towards spirituality or towards liberation when desires are controlled. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says that Rajasic devotees worship of God. We would have noticed that in a person with Rajasic worship, they'll be having a very palatious puja room, and whenever somebody comes, they will ask the people to come visit my puja room. I bought this idol from here, I bought this idol from there. Like that, they'll keep on explaining about whatever they are purchasing instead of going for a proper devotion. And Arjuna did not want to fight the Kurukshetra war due to attachment to relatives and others who were present in the war field. So he was just trying to avoid saying that I cannot fight, etc. But Krishna comes to his rescue and he says that no, they may be relatives in this Janma. In previous or next Janma, you do not know who they are. This is only a materialistic relationship in this Janma. So please do the fight. And next, Krishna, and he says the same thing. And he says that a desireless person will be able to come out of Rajas Guna and go to Sattvic Guna. In chapter 7 Krishna says all the three gunas are happening from me only. It is all nothing about yours. It is all created by me for some purpose to some people, whatever has to be done by them. So you please act according to whatever is your guna given to you, and you should come out of the relationship and attachment, everything, and please fight. One should nourish the spirit of anasakti, that is desirelessness, and cultivate virakti, detachment, and experience bliss. Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you very much, Raja Rajeshwari ji. Now we will move towards the Satttva and understand about Satttva through
Sundar.
Sundar ji. Please.
Good evening, Doctor, and all Henry members.
Yeah.
Om Sri Paramatmane Namaha. Ada Chaturdasodhyayah Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogaha. Now I am going to explain about Sattva Guna. As explained earlier, Rajas, Tamas, Sattva is the third Guna. The capability to understand this vision depends on the proportion in which the three elements, aura, energy, and matter constitute our mind, as explained below. Brahman is the seed-giving father of the creation. Illusion is the mother comprising of aura, energy, and matter. The creation is born for these parents. The living beings in the creation reflect the consciousness of the father Brahman. Their body-mind complex is made up of the inert object belonging to the mother illusion. Looking at the body-mind complex, we assume that we are created only by our mother, the illusion. We are ignorant of the contribution of our father in our existence. We cannot understand that we are the consciousness unless the composition of our mind is changed. Our mind is composed of certain proportion of aura, energy, and matter. We need to make it aura dominant in order to perceive the truth. This can be achieved through the following steps. Understand the nature of each of the three elements. See how each of these elements bind a person to eternal misery. Identify the dominance of a particular element. Explore the use of each element in reaching our goal. Go beyond the influence of all the three elements. Gain the advantage of going beyond all the three elements. By attending to this Bhagavad Gita session, we are all becoming Sattvik by virtue of our Dr. Mayurji. The triple modes of creation are, as explained, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Their permutations and combinations with the five elements produce the diversity in creation. The Sattva Guna is a calm mind, reveals awareness. Mind is present, wise, happy, and free of desire. Truth interprets experience, allows proper discrimination, facilitates self-inquiry, and Sattva person is a positive, pure, pleasure, and divine. Sattva is a revealing power. Sattva is light, is being. The Sattva mind is balanced and pure. When a person finds a sense of truth and light in their life, they are more open to create Sattvic qualities in their mind. Many people might perpetuate Sattvic qualities in any given moment, but truly Sattvic people are particularly rare. As explained, Rajas is a forward force, Tamas is opposing force, and Sattva is a balancing force. Sattva is one of the triple modes of nature mentioned in the Vedas. They determine our behavior, appearance, habits, desires, attitude, and our general disposition. It is a divine quality which manifests in you as physical vigor, virtuous, and mental brilliance, medhas, Isvara. Isvara, the Lord of the universe, is made up of pure, Suddha, Sattva only. He is said to be Brahman's pure reflection in the Sattva quality of nature. Among the triple gods, Trimurtis of Hinduism, Vishnu represents Sattva, Brahma represents Rajas, and Shiva represents Tamas. Sattva is necessary for liberation. The practice of yoga and spirituality results in the predominance of Sattva. Our scriptures declare that those who possess it in higher quantities at the time of their death attain rebirth in pious families. All the deities and light beings of the higher world possess the predominance of Sattva. How do you know whether you are a Sattvic person or whether anyone is a Sattvic person? The following are the 10 important qualities by which you can discern it. First is pleasantness, that is Saumya. Sattvic people are cheerful, gentle, pleasant, and friendly. They are not easily disturbed. They radiate happiness and positive energy. Most of our gods have pleasant forms. At times they may become angry and fierce. Ugra, however, in them it is an affected quality but not a weakness. The same is true with the Sattvic people. If they are angry, it is for a purpose. but not because they are driven by passions and emotions. Other people are generally disturbed and hold grudges, whereas the Sattvic type are quite opposite. Next is virtue, Sila. Sattva manifests in us outwardly as virtuous behavior. Sattvic people are law-abiding, follow the rules, respect traditions, avoid aggression, and abide by duty and morality. They stay away from evil and perverted people, practice their faith, believe in God, and contribute to social harmony and the order and regularity of the world. Compassion, Karuna. Sattvic people are harmless, non-aggressive, friendly, amiable, and non-violent. By nature, they are helpful, considerate, accommodative, cooperative, and compassionate. They avoid hurting and harming others, both physically and verbally. They extend the same attitude to the rest of creation. It is said in the presence of truly sattvic and saintly people, even the most aggressive wild animals behave gently. In the autobiography of Yogi, Swami Yogananda mentioned the name of a spiritual master who reared a tiger that was not only vegetarian but used to utter om-like sound whenever it growled. Truthfulness, Satya. Sat means truth, which is the nature of Supreme Brahman, in contrast to Asat, which is descriptive of the illusory nature of existence. The quality of Sattva is therefore synonymous with truthfulness. Predominance of Sattva makes the mind transparent, whereby a person not only adheres to truth, but also discerns truth. Truthfulness is not just about speaking truth, but also about being honest with yourself, truthful in your words and deeds, keeping your promises, having the courage to speak truth, and recognizing the truth that is hidden in the nature of things. Sattva gives you the ability and the wisdom to discern the truth, because from Sattva arises the mental brilliance and pure intelligence, buddhi, which enables you to distinguish truth from falsehood and the good from evil. Sattvic people are good decision makers because they are free from confusion and perversion of the mind. Non-covetousness, asteya. People in worldly life are driven by either fear or greed or both. Sattvic people live contented lives. They are happy with what they have, whether they are rich or poor, or whether they have problems or not. Sattvic people do not take what does not belong to them. They do not take credit for the work done by others. They do not steal information or wealth from others unless it is given to them. The scriptures state that those who take from others what does not truly belong to them, be it wealth, knowledge, or information, incur very bad karma that will last for several lifetimes. Unfortunately, there are some magazines that are run in the name of our Samskriti and culture by people who have no scruples and hesitation in stealing information from others and posting them on their own creations. Discerning wisdom, buddhi. Wisdom is a function of intelligence. Discerning intelligence in Sanskrit is known as buddhi, or the higher intelligence. It is the ability to know the right from the wrong. Sattvic people possess wisdom. They learn from their mistakes and avoid repeating them. Since they possess discriminating knowledge, they know how to discern truth from falsehood. A sattvic mind can perceive truth without distortions and delusion. Hence, they perceive the world better than others and are not easily fooled by outward appearances. Pleasure. Sattvic people are motivated by the desire for pleasure, comfort, and happiness. Hence, sometimes you see them succumbing to the temptations of sexual pleasures and the luxuries of life. Because of the predominance of sattva, even spiritual masters and teachers often succumb to sensuality and physical temptations. It is because nature acts through them. So is the case with gods like Indra, Agni, and Soma, who are by nature pleasure-loving deities. Our scriptures suggest that one may enjoy the riches and comforts of life without coveting them and clinging to them. You have a right to enjoy life in the name of God, but not otherwise. Detachment. Detachment means freedom from desires and living and acting like Brahman in the pursuit of liberation without ignoring your duties and responsibilities. Brahman has no agenda. He has neither interest nor disinterest in anything. He is complete and perfect, Purnam. He does what is necessary for the order and regularity of the worlds without becoming involved with them. Sattvic people engage in actions without desires. They accept what life offers to them with attachment and without judgment. They let life happen as destined by Brahman without trying to take control of it. This is true brahmacharya. Stability, sthita prajna. The purpose of yoga is to become mentally and physically stable by developing the ability to endure pain and suffering. It is meant to be done by increasing the predominance of sattva so that mind can be freed from modifications and afflictions and stabilized in the contemplation of God or the self. The predominance of sattva leads to increased power of concentration and mental stability as the mind is freed from impurities and modifications. Sattvic people have a transparent mind in which truth is reflected without distortion. Since they are also free from the dualities and pairs of opposites, their minds are easily stabilized. Equanimity, samatvam. Sameness means accepting life as it is, without conditions and expectations. It means freedom from attraction and aversion and embracing both the pairs of opposites such as heat and cold with the same attitude. Ordinary people experience pain and pleasure according to their desires. If conditions are favorable, they are happy, but if otherwise, you can see them unhappy. It is not so with Sattvic people. In case of Sattvic people, their happiness and mental disposition arises from within, and they remain the same in all conditions and situations. Om Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you very much, Sundarji, for such a detailed explanation about Sattva. And now, who is there? The last person, I think Padmaji, to explain
Namaste,
about
Doctor
the
and
state of
Henry Bandhus.
Namaste, Namaste. Gunatitah, please.
Okay. In the 13th chapter, we have learned about how the jiva gets trapped as a result of the attachment to the three gunas of Prakriti. In order to practice the means by which can we detach ourselves from the three gunas, Sri Krishna reveals the teaching in the 14th chapter. The chapter 14 starts with Sri Krishna saying, I will reiterate the highest knowledge. All sages who have restored to this knowledge have reached the highest perfection. They have also become one with me. My womb is Mahabrahma. Into the womb I cast this seed. Thus all living forms spring forth. The material energy consists of three gunas: Sattva, goodness; Rajas, passion; and Tamas, ignorance. These modes bind the eternal soul to the perishable body. Sri Krishna gives us the effect of each guna so that we can look into the understand the proportion of gunas with us. If we are full of the proportion of gunas with us, radiance and knowledge, sattva prevails. If we are greedy all the time and it results in the desire and action, rajas prevails. If we are full of ignorance, laziness and error, tamas prevails. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, God can be reached through sattva guna. Rajas, tamas separate us from the God. Some compare sattva to white color, rajas to red color, and tamas to black. Sri Ramakrishna explains pride, sleep, and excessive eating are some of identities of people of tamas. People of rajas engage themselves in many activities. The rajastic devotees would wear silk clothes at the time of worship. They will show off their costly dresses, ornaments, and they will donate to charities in the way visible to all. On the other hand, people of sattva guna will be soft and calm. They will earn just to have enough meals to live. As regards people of sattva guna, their contemplation about God, their acts of charity, and their meditation will be done secretively without the knowledge of others. Tamas destroys, rajas binds, and sattva releases one from the bondage. But still, sattva by itself cannot take us to godliness. It can only show the way to God, says Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. In Viveka Chudamani, Adi Shankaracharya explains, Kamaha, Krodho, Loba, Tamba, the Asuya, Ankara, Shesha, Matyasu, Goraha, Dharma, Yeta, Rajasaha, Puma, Pravrti, Yasma, Tesha, Tatrejo, Bandhu, Hetuhu. Lust, anger, avarice, arrogance, spite, egoism, envy, and jealousy, etc. These are the dire attributes of Rajas, from which this worldly tendency of man is produced. Therefore, the Rajas is a cause of bondage. About this Stamoguna, Ajnana Malasya Jadatva Nidra Pramada Mudatva Stamogunaha Etai Prayukto Nahi Veti Kinchin Nidraluvat Stamba Deva Tishtati. Ignorance, lassitude, dullness, sleep, inadvertence, stupidity, etc. are the attributes of Tamas. One tied to these does not comprehend anything, but remains asleep or like a stock or stone. And about Satttva, Vishwadda Sattvasya Gunaha Prasada, Swatmanubhutihi Parama Prashantihi, Triptihi, Praharsha, Paramatma Nishta Yaya Sadanandarasam Samrityachi. The qualities of pure Sattva are cheerfulness, the realization of one's own self, supreme peace, contentment, bliss, and steady devotion to Atman, by which the aspirant enjoys bliss everlasting. At the end, Arjuna asks a question, O Lord Krishna, how can a person go beyond the three gunas and realize that he or she is Atman, a witness consciousness? What are the characteristics of super persons, such person? How does that person behave in the world? Sri Krishna replies, it is one who not impacted, affected, or attached to any of the gunas. A person who has gone beyond the three gunas and realized that his true identity is the Atman will not hate when the guna rises in him and does not crave for any guna when it subsides. Such a person realizes that the body and mind are constantly changing, but the Atman remains the same. Such a person views the entire universe, including his body, as gunas acting upon gunas. We need to detach from Prakriti and attach ourselves to Ishvara. Sarvam Krishnarpanam.
Thank you very much, Padmaji, for such a nice collaboration of all the points. Now here I have a question. You are watching this photo, all of you, anyone who is interested in explaining the meaning of this photo can volunteer to unmute themselves and speak on this photo with respect to Tamas, Rajas, Sattva and Gunatitah.
I want to explain that.
Yeah, please, Sundarji.
Actually, the water is not pure.
Okay.
So that is we can call it the tamas.
Okay.
Nature is tamas.
Okay.
And then the leaves, whatever are there, it is in between. That is neither impure nor pure. So that we may correlate it as rajas, and then flowers beautifully, whatever it is coming out, it shows the sattva.
Okay. Chalo, I agree. But what if water is not there? Will these beautiful flowers be able to come up?
No, doctor.
Okay. And if these leaves are not there, they are not doing photosynthesis, then will these lotus leaves flourish? Lotus
No.
flowers? No. So
No.
basically all the three gunas are required for complete existence. And that is why if you see here, this before this photo was there, where Tamo guna is shown as the root fixing aspect. Then through the roots, whatever absorption of nutrients and water happens, it walks, it moves, and then through its movement, then it enters into the better and more beautiful aspect, that is Sattva. But the whole thing is together. None of the things are independent of each other. That is the beauty of this whole thing, that we need the balance of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. It is not like that only we need Sattva or only we need Rajas. It's not like that. It is always the balance between Sattva, Rajas and Tamas will lead us. If we understand that, okay, all the three gunas are equally important, then we will be able to go Gunatitah. Gunatitah is not like that, okay, you purify yourself as completely Sattvic and then you go beyond that. You bring the balance between Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, then you are going beyond the gunas, that is Gunatitah. I hope this beautiful photo of lotus in the water gives you the idea that everything is interdependent, nothing is independent of each other. So with that understanding, we pause here. There are some very beautiful slides like this which I had written when I was understanding these things. And you can see my college time handwriting. Sattva is positive, pure pleasure, but it is pure pleasure, divine, energetic, flexible, strong sense of humanity, compassionate, brings the balance, and duty wise, truth wise, driven. And sex, if a sattvic person performs sex, it is for enlightenment, it is not for enjoyment. Then Rajas is like controlling kind of a personality, mixed behavior. Then selfish desires are there, human, but restless, agitated, indecisive, unreliable, hyperactive, disturbed. And then creativity is high in Rajasic personalities. Then they are desire driven. And then sex, if they perform for sensual pleasure. Then Tamasic people, they are negative, impure, pain, inflicting pain, suffering pain, demonic, depressed, fearful, dishonest, self-destructive, sexually pervert, and prone to drug addiction. Then they are very heavy, and if they are means have performing sex, they are like sex is for only for progeny, and they are freer driven. And when they are eating, sattvic people, they are very peaceful when they are eating. Rajasic people eat very fast, and tamasic people, they do not know when to stop. They keep on eating based on what taste it has or it does not have, like that. These are the points of the foods which are sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. As we all know, meat, alcohol, fast, fried, frozen food, stale food, and refined sugar, tobacco, soda, all these things are tamasic. Coffee, tea, chicken, eggs, onion, garlic, lentils, fruits, spicy food, chocolate, salt, all these things are rajasic. Milk, herbal tea, ghee, grains, fresh fruits and vegetables, honey, nuts, and mung beans are sattvic, like that. And once again, sattva is as such, they are telling as balance, but if you see in detail, you will easily realize that there are people with sattvic ego as well. Do you know how compassionate I am? Do you know how calm I am? Do you know how confident I am? Do you know how much of knowledge I have? So those kind of people also will exist, and that is where sometimes no sattva becomes tamas. Many people, they develop stubbornness because of their sattva, because of their holding on to the truth. So when one guna will get transformed into another guna, it is very tricky, very tricky. And suddenly you will find that, oh, this is no more sattva, this is rajas, oh, this is now entering into tamas. So that is where the balance has to come. Balance is gunatitah. Balance is gunatitah. And that is where
What is solar channel and lunar channel, doctor?
Surya Nadi, Chandra Nadi. Surya Nadi, Chandra Nadi. So we practice Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam, no? So when Surya Nadi is on, our tendency is to become Rajasic. When Chandra Nadi is on, we will tend to have tamasic characteristics. And when we do Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam and we are able to go and open both the Nadis, and then the third Nadi will get opened up, that is Sushumna Nadi, that is where Sattva will get established. And when beyond that we go, that becomes Gunatitah, like that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that, I think we will pause here and adopt Namaskara Mudra, Omkar followed by Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschid Dukhavag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. With your eyes closed, slowly take your both the hands back, hold your right wrist with the left palm, inhale, arch your back, look up, exhale, bend from the root of the back, touch your forehead to the ground, express gratitude to Mother Earth, Almighty, your parents and Guru. Slowly inhale and come up. Slowly release your hands. With few blinks, you may open your eyes. Namaste. Dhanyavad. Thank you very much, everybody, for such a beautiful summary of Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Now, from next week, we are going to understand Purushottam Vibhaga Yoga. Okay, Purushottam Yoga, we are going to learn. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
Dhanyavad, Dr. Shubharatri.
Thank you all NV members.
Namaste. Namaste, everyone.
धन्यवाद मयूर जी, नमस्कार।
Namaste. Namaste.